The Hamilton Tiger Cats beat the BC Lions 52-22. Make sure I got that score right. Sunday here at Tim Hortons Field. Steve, another dominating performance. I don't even know where to begin.
Well, I was going to say your verb's wrong. It's just way understated. Beat. There are a lot of words there, but most of them have to do with violence. You know, like murdered, whatever.
Bullied,
everything.
Yes.
They really, second week in a row, get that early lead, take the spirit out of the other team, make them do stupid things. Like BC did a lot of stupid things, just like Winnipeg did a lot of stupid things, and the Argos did against them. There's something about this place and the team.
but they're making them do the stupid
That's
things,
what I'm
right?
saying.
Yeah,
Exactly, by putting the pressure on them early, and then suddenly there's a template here, and the other teams know it. The other teams know they haven't lost in here. The other teams can see the fans and how wacky they are and how loud, and suddenly their psychology shrivels.
Scoring on offense, defense, and special teams. Banks with 2 touchdowns. Caleros with 4 touchdown passes, creating turnovers. It's not just one phase; it's full dominance.
Right, and it's nice to see the coach say, "Let's not get ahead of yourself here." And it's very easy for people to do. It's easy to remember. We just last week passed the 3rd mark of the season, but you got to be very, very happy and confident if you're connected to the Tiger Cats in any way. Even as a fan, you got to be thinking this is great.
Well, and let's now 10 in a row here at Tim Hortons Field, and all sellouts. We were just talking to a couple of players who were just talking about the environment. It's become intimidating.
It really has, and we were making Luke Tasker is one of the players we were talking to, and he wouldn't have known about the old Tiger Cats. This is intimidating in a bit different way, but then the league is different. It's not like in the old days when John Barrow or Mosk or Lachlan or one of those guys would pick you up and throw you against the Civic Stadium or Iverwin Wall, which is about 9 feet away, and it became a very, very famous thing. When you first came on the beat, I think I remember telling you, I haven't seen a guy thrown into that wall for a long time. The psychological part of this here is the same thing as being thrown into that wall that was 8 feet away, because it's done in a different way, but mostly it's like, this is like waterboard at high speed, because like you turn around, okay, you're making the point, and a really great point. There's nowhere you can focus. If we stop this, they're gonna win, because something else is gonna happen at this moment. I'm not saying it's gonna continue, but boy, it sure looks like it's again on the uprise.
Well, let's talk about the next month, because I think that will tell us a lot about where these Ticats are at. They're going to go on the road in Edmonton next week, one of the best teams in the West Division right now, back here against Montreal, a team they've already lost to this season, and then back-to-back against the Argos. The next 4 weeks, we'll know exactly whether or not we're dealing with a dominant team or what we're dealing with.
And each one of those games has a great story trajectory involved in it. I think what I want to see next week is, in a way, I don't want to see them get a 21-point lead against them. Even if I was a Ticat fan, I want to see how this team can do straight up from the mark in the blocks against what is, I think, the best defense in the league, other than Hamilton's. A different kind of defense than Hamilton's, but it's been the stiffest test for every other offense in this league. This is a really good test. Especially if it's not 0-0. I mean, the team's been. They're not a one-dimensional team, even though they run, because there's still a possibility, or even though they don't run, because there's still a possibility of running because of the lead they have, right? So you can't sort of zero in on that. I want to see them against a defense to get the same kind of gauge I think you want to see too.
Absolutely. Make sure you check out Monday's Spectator for my story and Steve's column, and 3 Down Nation for all the up-to-the-minute CFL news. Reporting for the Hamilton Spectator with Steve Milton, I'm Drew Edwards.